Hey, so I feel like this video needs a little bit of like an intro. So I have the Awekeys copper eagle plated keycaps. They are absolutely stunning. They are copper in some light, they're rose gold in others. They're absolutely just beautiful on any keyboard. They change the sound profile to be very similar to like what I showed you with the ceramic keycaps, but even deeper and more resonant. And they are just gorgeous, and they come in all these different colors. They come in like a liquid metal silver, they come in satin gold, they come in a shiny gold, they come in reds, blues. They are just, they're all over the place, and they are metal, you know, and then they're plated with whatever the material is. So if it's gold, it's plated in gold, not like 14 karat gold, but just like normal, you know, crappy gold. And they all look wonderful. They change the aesthetic of your desk and of your keyboard. They feel really nice to type on. They're cool to the touch. They don't pick up fingerprints as much. You still run into the issue where if you have a long gaming sessions, you are going to feel like the sweaty, trying hard oils from your fingers. So that doesn't go away if you don't have like a nice textured gaming keycap. But that aside, they just look and sound and feel amazing. But there's a giant elephant in the room, and that is what we're going to be discussing, and that's the price. Hello, my lovely humans. It's Tristan from Crafting Worlds, and today we're going to be talking about some artisan keycaps. So I find these keycaps to be particularly interesting because I just got my hands on the Wooting 80HE. And the Wooting 80HE has, its sound profile is okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not against it, but it needed improvements. So I was like, you know what? I think it's time to bust out the Awekeys Copper Eagle keycaps. And that's exactly what I did. So I took a set of these babies. If we take a look inside. Oh yeah, look at those. I mean, if that ain't beautiful. Ooh boy. These are metal plated copper keycaps. The space bar is probably like 400 pounds. And if you're going to use that on a Hall effect keyboard, you need to add like an 80 or 100 spring, just so you know. The regular keys, they work fine with the Jade Pros, Jade Pro Maxes, and the Lekkar 2s if you are in the Wooting world. If you're not, they should work fine on any keycap that has a actuation force of 40 or higher. Anything below that, you're going to start to run into an issue that the keycap is literally too heavy. They really do change the sound profile of your board. And not only that, they're gorgeous. I find these keycaps just absolutely beautiful on my desk, and it fits an aesthetic that I just didn't know I even wanted. They are cool to the touch, which is something that I really like. And unlike the ceramic keycaps, they don't get like your finger oils all over them. So they just look nice. They do reflect light, just like any metallic keycap would. That can be a little annoying especially if you have like a bar, you know, a light bar on your computer. So every now and again, I have to adjust the light bar. Like if I'm playing a video game at night, it can be like, oh, I'm getting blasted in the eyes with reflective light. But other than that, like the sound profile on these is so unique. I would say that the ceramic keycaps are more like a thocky, right? Everybody can agree like this is a nice sounding thock. The metallic keycaps they're different. So they have a little bit of a metallic ping, especially on like the space bar. It's a deeper sound because the key is heavier. So when it hits or bottoms out, it's a heavier sound. And because of the resonation chamber inside of a metal keycap, it just bounces around the sound differently. And so it kind of holds it. And so it's more of like a whoop, whoop, whoop. It's a very unique sound and very interesting. I found that it really enhanced the ADHD and it just looks good. I actually don't put the keys on the entire keyboard. I find that I like them on certain keys, like the keys that I type on, some of the modifiers, but all over the keyboard, I don't know. I also think it looks cooler to mix and match with your keys with these sets. You could absolutely rock out and the whole thing. Like for my numpad, I rock out the whole thing with these keycaps, and I like that look. But for me personally, I think the magic that comes out of the metallic keycaps from Awekeys is the ability to mix and match with your current setup and enhance it as like a flourish or an addition. And so for me, having the typing keys being that nice, stocky, metallic, cool to the touch feeling really makes it enjoyable. And it's been very hard for me to take this off my desk to like review other keyboards because I enjoy the experience so much. So what's wrong with them then, Tristan? There's got to be a cons list. Okay, we could go there. Let's take a look at something. Okay. Here's the problem. Okay, so these are plated, right? And here's their website. Look, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, but here's the Copper Eagles that I have. And let's be very clear. They sent me these. I did not pay for these. Okay, so by the way, you can make them blank too, which is also really cool. I chose to have the letters on them, but yeah, it would also look very cool blank. Okay, let me get back to the point here. It's $219. That's without the add-ons of like the different keys. Yeah, if you put the add-on on, it's $300. And that's the copper version. Okay, so my wooting was $300 and this is pretty much the price of my wooting. And then if you come down here, all right, website, we get it. Their website is aggressive as hell. If you look at like their gold, satin, and gold keycaps, by the way, I would not recommend their gold ones. They're shiny and they pick up fingerprints. But look at this. Like I'm sorry. For someone like me who gets to review these things, okay, I'm in a very privileged situation, right? And I don't have to pay for these things. For someone like you who's going to pay for these, would I say you're getting your money's worth? That's a really hard call. And you guys know I don't hold punches on like my recommendations. I will say either buy or don't buy. I don't do the whole like, well, depending on your wallet and what you think is affordable and what is worth. I think these are priced slightly out of the range of most people. And I mean slightly very loosely. I just think that a lot of people are going to look at these and go, oh, they look really cool. They're beautiful on the keyboard. The sound profile is really good, but I would never buy these in my life because they are just priced insanely, especially if you go with those gold ones, which, yeah, the satin gold ones, by the way, they actually look really, really nice in terms of just the overall look. This would be my second set if I got a second set. I just find that this is very similar to the copper because it's not going to pick up your fingerprints as much as the like real gold that's all shiny. So out of all of them, I like the silver. I think that this is just, I don't know, this reminds me of like the Terminator, the T2 Terminator, you know what I mean? It's like that liquid metal. So that's really cool. But I have a lot of trouble recommending these to the everyday average human being that is spending, you know, I don't know, you're spending like $200, $300 on a keyboard already, and then to add another $200, $300, $400, 450, 500, depending on what keys you need. It's a tough sell. I feel as though the Sarah keys, right? The ceramic ones, that's an easier sell. Like, you know, they're going to be a good sound. They have a very similar sound, and they're half or more than half the price of this. So it's a much easier sell. Plus, they fit more keyboards easier. So for these, you need a tool. Okay, so some of these keys. Let's take a look at this here. So here's the back, right? The switch has to go in there, and sometimes these are too wide for the switch to fit. And so if it was too wide, you would take this end of the tool, you would put it here, and you would take a hammer and you'd bang it to basically close this off a little bit. And then if you open the tool, I mean, you're gonna have to open the tool to hit it with a hammer, but it has this, which will let you widen the opening so that it fits different switches better. Let me be very clear. There is a fundamental flaw with putting metal over plastic, and that is that metal is a harder substance than plastic. And so if you do not get the tightness correct, meaning if it's too tight and you try to put it over your switch, it may fit, but you can permanently damage your switch because metal will scrape off pieces of the plastic. And I've had that happen with a couple of switches where it was too tight and I went and pushed it before I knew any better. And I was like, okay, cool, it fits. And then I went to take it off and I was like, oh, I literally scraped off pieces of like full chunks of the switch. So then trying to put another keycap on that is going to be quite difficult, if not impossible. So they could damage your keycaps. Like, that's where Sarah keys is different, is that they're little nubbins here are plastic so that it attaches better to your keycaps. And so I think they could benefit from taking a piece out of that book and adding that. I think it would change the sound profile a little bit, so they might not want to do that, and that might be why they don't do it. If you really, really, really like it, then you'd have to really want to buy it. That the price is just, it's so hard. It's so hard to recommend on that price. Like, I don't want to recommend on that price. Like, for me personally, because they sent them out, I'm like, okay, cool. But would I have ever bought these on my own? Probably not. Plus, like, you don't know if you're going to like them until you get them. It's pricing out so many people. Whereas if they lowered the price, and I'm sure there's a very large margin between manufacturing and selling, that they could drop the price quite a bit and still make profit. So I think if they could adjust the price just a bit, that, more around the lines of Sarah keys, maybe a little bit higher because it's metal versus ceramics, but like in the end, it's very similar. So it's a hard sell for me to say, yes, go buy, because I just feel like there's better things to spend your money on. Like, a keyboard in general, like a really nice one. If you just have to have them and you just love the way it looks, I mean, I guess that is up to you. Much as I don't want to go down that road, but it really would be up to you. But here's the thing. This is what I see a lot. I see a lot of the posts on social media and stuff, and they talk about, like people that get these keys, right? And a lot of people that are singing the praises of these keys are reviewers. You don't see a lot of posts by like some random dude on Instagram that has 0 followers, right? You see people that have influence and are part of the market where they go, here, we'd like you to help promote our product. So I think that while I would love to sit here and say, yes, buy them all, it's, I have to say, be frugal with your money. So yeah, it is what it is. How about that? And I personally would not buy these. That said, I really enjoy these. Even after having enjoyed them and seeing how cool they look on my keyboard, I still would not personally buy these. And that's just a me thing. I just don't want to spend that kind of money on keycaps. It just doesn't compute for me. So anyway, I mean, as you heard, the sound profile is really nice. The visual appeal of these is really nice. The overall construction of them is really nice. The adjustment tool is really nice. The feel of typing on them is really nice. The cool touch is really nice. The lack of fingerprints is really nice. The reflection, not so nice if you have a monitor light bar. The price, not so nice at all, ever. The fact that metal and plastic obviously can ruin a switch, not so nice. And that's what Awekeys are. That's what the metallic Awekeys are. My honest opinion on them, and I got nothing else. So if you like this video, like. If you dislike, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for notifications if you'd like to see more. Because as always, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.